Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here. Welcome back to another LEGO Batman 2019 set review. The set is set number 76118 and called Mr. Freeze Batcycle Battle. It has 200 pieces, comes with 3 minifigures. It will retail for $19.99 USD and $24.99 Canadian and will be available starting on July 1st, unlike all of the other sets in the wave that actually release on August 1st. So this will come out a month early. This is going to be a store exclusive. We don't know where exactly yet. Most likely Target, though, I would say, gets a lot of exclusives, and maybe Walmart. I actually imported this from the UK. But anyways, everyone, without further ado, let's go ahead and we'll start off with the vehicles and then take a look at the minifigures. Let's start with the Batcycle. I guess it's plural, and you'll see why in a second. It's really cool. I didn't actually expect that when we built this because it's called the Batcycle, but it has 4 wheels. So I heard a lot of people thinking that this looks like the Tumbler. I personally, I don't see it, but I guess it's interesting that it breaks off into a bike, so maybe they're kind of right about that. I guess I can see the Tumbler from that angle, but it to me, at least when building it, it reminded me of the boat set with Deathstroke, because you can pop this off into 2, which we'll show off in a second, but it moves really smoothly there. I guess you can hold down on that if you want to pop a wheelie, so that's pretty cool, and it is strong enough so that you can hold it up just by the back 2 wheels. Turning it around, you can see here on the front just quickly that you can push down these stud shooters like that, and the way that that's built is just, it's one of these new like tech, I don't even know what to call them, there's these new system bricks, and you can see them there on the front of the build, and you'll see it on Mr. Freeze's. But anyways, on the side here you have this like gun that you can pop off and grab if you wanted them to hold it, but Batman doesn't use guns, so I don't really know what this is meant to be. We'll call it the concussion grenade, like in Arkham Knight. He never kills anyone, even though he blows up all their trucks and stuff, but they're all automated, so it doesn't matter. But anyways, they're just concussive grenades. Really cool stickers there on the front. Stickers there as well. It's duplicated on each side of the Batcycle. Those computer pads, though, are actually printed. Same with this 1x1 there. That's actually a really old piece that they've updated with some new colors. That used to be bright red, and I think it's maroon now. So that's pretty interesting that they're bringing that back. But besides that, there's nothing really else. On the side, you could see got like an armor piece with a new sticker print on the side, and you can hold 2 minifigures. To break it apart, you just pull, and you can pop it off into a separate Batcycle, and you can see how that works there. So it's pretty interesting. They're like a reflection of each other in a mirror. See how the slope there is the opposite there. So that's pretty interesting. If you wanted to have 2 Batcycles, you just have to pop the middle part off and do that. They are a little different in terms of what they can hold. The holding mechanism is on the same side, both on the left. This can hold Robin's katana, and this can hold like a grappling hook, which I'll show you in a second. On the back wheel there, I forgot to mention, that's one of the new pieces that comes in this little baggie, sort of like those Batman symbols that you'll see in other sets that was introduced last year with some of the other superhero sets. So that's pretty interesting to get. But let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that grappling gun. The grappling gun, it's nothing special. It's just like this new anchor piece, I would say. It wouldn't even be a grappling gun. You can just shoot it like a stud shooter. I don't really get why it's like that. I think they should have put a chain on it, or at least, because it doesn't really make sense why you'd need to shoot that off. Like, there's nothing for you to do with it. Here's Mr. Freeze's vehicle, and it's pretty cool. It's like a little snowmobile, which I think is pretty awesome. This reminds me of like his classic buggy from the 2010 wave of Batman sets. I think that's when it was. So it's pretty interesting to see here. You got some awesome blues and everything, like you've got the sand blue there and the bright blue. It just looks really awesome. A lot of transparent pieces as well. You've got one of the new like vent pieces from that bag. I do have a bit of a problem with this figure, but I'll talk about that after. It's not really about the figure, it's just when you have him here on the buggy, it just doesn't work because everything's getting in the way with the whip. But that doesn't, I would say that doesn't really work, unfortunately, and I keep knocking it off because it's easy to knock off. If you take a look at that, he's got like a little terminal there, and that's actually a 1x2 sticker. You can rotate these if you wanted to. as well as like the fins, but it's meant to be, I think it's meant to be like this, either it's shooting out snow like a snow plow or something like that. So that's it for the vehicles. Let's take a look at the figures. Here is the new Batman figure for the line of sets, and it's pretty cool because this is actually based off of his Rebirth outfit from that comic line, and this is a brand new figure. I thought that originally it was the same as the January figures that we got, but this is actually brand new. You can see what it looks like from the back there with his cape down, and he has some really cool printing. I wasn't a fan of it because I thought that it was the same one as before, but I really like the way that the gold looks on the Batman symbol. I think that's really cool and unique. And upon closer look, it looks so cool. And same with the utility belt. I just think that's a really cool texturing that the gold does there. And I like the lines and stuff on his torso as well, cutting through his muscles. So that's really cool. If you look though, unfortunately, he doesn't have any arm printing or leg printing. I wish that he had dual molded legs at least. It's a bit of a shame. If you want to get dual molded dark gray and black legs, you can go back and get some from other sets, but have to do with what you've got here. Anyways, the face print is actually brand new. Instead of having that ugly white line across, he's got these goggles that line up with the holes on the mask. So I think that's really interesting. He's got a really cool smirking expression on one face, and on the other side, he's got this generic Batman face. And if you want to take a look with the mask on, you can see that there. And flipping up his cape, you can see how the printing carries over from the front with his belt carrying over, and just the lines and everything, it just looks so cool and textured. But this is really cool. I don't like these fabric capes, but it is really good figure, and I don't mind getting a lot of these. I do wish that maybe he had an exclusive face print in a couple of the sets, but overall I think this is a really cool looking Batman figure. Here is the new Robin for this wave of 2019 sets, and this is supposed to be Damian Wayne from the Rebirth line of comics. And I really like this figure. I don't know how I feel about like the cape. It looks a little too, I don't know, it doesn't really look like a tattered cape, which is what it's meant to be with like the carvings out. But I don't know, it just looks too pointy. It doesn't look as natural, I guess, as the Batman one. Maybe it's just because he's shorter they needed to do that, but I don't know how I feel about that. It looks like just a bright sun, but anyways, the figure looks really cool. I do like his face print, and he comes with the spiky hair in black. His torso printing is really nice as well, with the Robin logo there on the chest. I'd love to compare these against the other Robin figures. Taking his hairpiece off, you can see on the back that he's got this other angry expression. So that's pretty cool. His pupils change as well to kind of squint as he's more angry or fighting. And flipping up his fabric cape, you can see how the printing carries over from the front as well with his utility belt and everything else. It looks really cool and really great figure, I think. One of the best, most detailed torsos, I think, for Robin, so that's pretty cool. Here is the new Mr. Freeze figure exclusive to this set. It's really interesting just overall what he's made of. Like, his gun is an interesting build. I kind of like it. It's a fun little build. I don't know how I feel about the whip being what connects it to his back. And speaking of the back thing, it constantly can't stay up, at least because the whip piece is so new. The more that you turn it and everything, see, it just pops off. The more that you turn it, it will get used to it being attached to the back and hopefully stay straight. But just the easiest, slightest little bump, it'll knock it off. So I kind of don't like that. You can see on the back there, it's a stamp piece in black, and that's how it connects to the back. Taking off his back bling and everything, you can see what he looks like without that on. He has some really awesome back printing. I never even noticed that until right now because I covered it up, but that looks really cool. Honestly, wouldn't even put the back on that and just give him the gun without it because I think that looks way better. He's got some gunmetal gray legs, which is pretty uncommon. It's not too common to get that in sets. Same with the torso, so that's pretty cool. Love the torso printing. You can see the sand blue there. Really adds some detail and texture to it. It looks really cool. And taking his Mysterio helmet off, you can see that he has some really cool face printing there. That's really awesome. And the strap goes around to the back. It would have been cooler to probably get the strap going around the whole way. I'm not sure why Lego can't print all the way like that. but I think that would have really added to it, because when you do put the helmet on, it is really noticeable when you're turning him around. It's interesting that the helmet actually gives off a little bit of a magnifying effect. I never noticed that with Mysterio because he doesn't have any face printing on him, but with him, his eyes and everything do look a little bit larger, so that's pretty cool, and I'd love to compare him against all the other Mr. Freezes. Well, there you have it, everyone. That is Mr. Freeze Batcycle Battle. It definitely reminds me of some of the classic Batman sets, even some of the earlier DC superhero sets, and I mean, that's a good thing, I think, but it just kind of feels repetitive at this point. I mean, there's not really too many new vehicles that they can do that they haven't, because the Lego Batman movie did like everything, so it is hard to come up with some new things, but this definitely it's pretty cool if you are just getting into the line. But the figures here that you're getting is pretty good as well. The Mr. Freeze here is pretty cool and definitely going to be the biggest draw, I think, for everyone if you're wanting to pick up the set. Also, a cheap way to get Robin is pretty cool as well, since he does come in the Batcave set. This is the cheaper alternative. And if you don't have a Target like myself, if that is where the set winds up going, you can always order store exclusives online from Lego Shop at home, and they should also have them in store, so you can always have that alternative if you wanted. If you want to stay up to date with the latest Lego news and reviews here for superheroes, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification if you want to stay up to date. But anyways, everyone, I hope that you did enjoy the video, and I hope that you all have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.